Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, downtown Victoria's colorful crosswalks are being wiped away. The reason behind the sudden change next. And 1 in 4 children are going hungry, and the problem may be closer to home than you think. What's driving food insecurities across our community next. An 8-year-old man is behind bars after police say he tried to start a fire and then led officers on a chase through the city streets.
We have red flag warnings up for tonight. However, I don't think we're going to have the problem tomorrow because we got to make everything ready for Halloween. We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment.
After 5 months on the run, Eddie the cat is finally back home, and the community went all out to make this reunion perfect. You're watching 25 News now at 5. Good afternoon, and thank you for being here with us. I'm Amaya Norman, filling in for Shauna Curry tonight. Early voting for November 4th election ends tomorrow. A total of more than 2,100 people have voted early in person and by mail, about 3.7% of registered Victoria County voters. Early voting wraps up at the Dr. Patty Dodson Public Health Center, open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. today and tomorrow. Election day is next Tuesday, November 4th. On the ballot are 17 proposed amendments to the state constitution, a collective bargaining proposition in the city of Victoria, and a proposed sale tax in Bloomington. An Aquaro man faces an arson charge. Aquaro police arrested 31-year-old Jacob Rodriguez after receiving a report that a man was starting a fire in the 100 block of East Newman. Officers chased him for 4 city blocks before containing him near the DeWitt County Jail parking lot. Authorities say Rodriguez resisted arrest and one officer had to use a taser. Rodriguez was also facing evading and resisting arrest charges. Is being held in the DeWitt County Jail on bond totaling $65,000. And Kim Plummer has announced she is running for re-election as Victoria County District Clerk. Plummer has served as district clerk for 5 years and was previously appointed to the position by an anonymous vote of the 4 district judges. A lifelong resident of Victoria, Plummer began her career in the district clerk office after graduating from Victoria High School in 1989, where she worked for 7 years. She has worked a total of 34 years for Victoria County. 1 in 4 children face food insecurities, and 1 in 5 adults face food insecurities as well. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley spoke with a few leaders on how to better understand and handle this issue.
Food insecurity has been a constant issue for the Crossroads area. By working with partner agencies, the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent president, Robin Cato, says she's able to provide food to those in need, including giving out backpacks of food for school-of-age children on the weekends.
I am blessed to be able to get to do this. My team and I are passionate about helping those that need our assistance. That's what we're here for.
The Food Bank isn't the only organization on a mission to keep food on the table. Mark Hinojosa is the executive director of the Victoria Christian Assistance Ministry. He gets supplies from the food bank and offers free service for people who can't afford stable groceries. Hinojosa feeds 1,500 families a month on average and says he's seen the need for food steadily increase over the last several years.
The foundation of what it was built on is trying to feed the hungry. And who doesn't go hungry? Who doesn't need food?
With rising food costs, cuts to government assistance programs, and other current economic challenges, the food bank and VCAM resources are limited. But Cato and Hinojosa say they're committed to providing the most basic need to those in our community. Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
Members of the Victoria Firefighter Association spent Thursday morning going from neighborhood to neighborhood, hoping to better inform voters about 2 ballot items in the ongoing election. With a collective bargaining proposition as well as a civil service proposition on the November 4th ballot, firefighters are seeking better pay and retention. One firefighter who was out walking today said he was seeing a tremendous amount of turnover at the Victoria Fire Department, which has led to the loss of more experienced mentors on the team.
We're keeping our hopes very high. You know, we've had a lot of great interactions. We're just trying to get as much voter turnout as possible. We want a lot, like I said, we want to get betterment for the city. We want a long-term commitment for our employees, because if we keep our experience, it's going to make a better fire department for the city.
Now let's go to Mac Clovia Perez with the first look at our forecast. Mac, it's Halloween tomorrow. Children are going to be trick-or-treating. Tell us how the weather's going to be looking.
I've got it down for everybody. It's looking really good for tomorrow. Now, tonight, we still have the red flag warning up. So, as the sign says, outdoor burning is not recommended. Now, tomorrow, the flag may be down because the winds are settling down, but that doesn't matter. We still have to have very dry conditions. But in terms of sunshine and comfortable temperatures for Freaky Friday, we'll have all that forecast coming up in just a moment. Back to you.
All the crosswalks art in downtown Victoria has to be removed because of a new state rule. TxDOT said no more political messages, artwork, and other markings that could make the roads unsafe. The crosswalk art will start being removed on November 3rd. After that, the city will put a new asphalt layer on the crosswalk and repaint the pedestrian line. The whole process should take about 2 weeks. 9 crosswalks in downtown Victoria were painted in 2022. A former first grade teacher testified in court today about the day a student shot her, saying she thought she was dying. Now she's suing for $40 million, claiming the assistant principal is at fault. The defense says she could have done more to prevent it.
Former Virginia teacher Abby Zwerner taking the stand today in her $40 million civil trial, nearly 3 years after a 6-year-old student shot her in an elementary school classroom. The testimony appearing live on Court TV.
I thought I had died. My next memory is I see 2 coworkers around me and I process that I'm hurt.
Zwerner and her legal team say up to 4 teachers warned assistant principal Dr. Ebony Parker that the student may have brought a gun to school, but that she ignored those warnings and failed to act. Zwerner telling jurors she's had lasting impacts from the shooting mentally and physically. The bullet still lodged in her body just inches from her heart, a doctor testifying it's still too dangerous to remove. Zwerner telling jurors her injured hand has made everyday tasks difficult, like opening bags and water bottles.
Overall, I would say I do struggle with doing things.
Body camera footage played during the trial shows Zwerner moments after she was shot in the chest and the hand.
Are you okay, Abby? Everything's gonna be okay. They're gonna take really good care of you.
Parker's attorneys argue the teachers also had a role in preventing this, pressing Zwerner and a staffer who took the stand earlier this week.
They were the first line responders to the reports about JT having a weapon, correct?
Correct. First line responders as teachers are to report it to administration.
Parker is also facing criminal charges. That trial is set to begin next month. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Local police say ICE officers were involved in a shooting Thursday morning in Los Angeles area. The incident began during a vehicle stop when a car that wasn't the target pulled in front of the officers. Police say the driver tried to run over the officers by reversing towards them, and an ICE officer fired shots. The driver fled and abandoned the vehicle. It's unclear if anyone was injured. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are investigating. It's a heartwarming reunion months in the making. After disappearing during a cross-country move, a beloved cat has finally made it home. 12-year-old Eddie went missing inside a hotel wall while his owner was moving from New York to Texas. 5 months later, he was miraculously found and reunited with his family, thanks to a microchip, a generous community, and a lot of love. The veterinarian clinic stepped in to help, setting up a GoFundMe to cover travel costs. The community rallied together, raising more than $2,000 to reunite Eddie with his family free of charge.
He was a bit traumatized, and we were on a time crunch to get back here so we could turn in the U-Haul, and we had to leave, and I I cried like a baby. Someone found him. They turned him into the Humane Society. Thank God he's chipped, which I'm a pro-chip advocate now for if you love your pet, get your pet chipped. So
Eddie is now settling into his new home in El Campo, safe, sound, and no longer curious about hotel walls. And if you see news happening, call our newsroom at 361-576-0026 or send us an email at staff@crossroadstoday.com. And to get more news, weather, and sports, come to our website at crossroadstoday.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, hit the like button, and click the notification bell. Stay with us straight ahead on 25 News now at 5. The government shutdown keeps dragging on, leaving families and businesses struggling. How the Houston Food Bank is stepping in to help. And President Trump is back in Washington after a week-long Asia trip, and he's announcing major trade changes with China and South Korea next.
It's a conversation many avoid, but one community is breaking the silence. The fight against HIV isn't just medical, it's personal.
We want to make sure that we ask the correct questions so we are able to understand who potentially could have a reason rather than a risk. I think that's a softer way to talk about testing for HIV or for PrEP.
Join Carolina Estrain for Ending HIV on 25 News Now Extra tonight at 10.
The government shutdown shows no sign of ending and could become the longest in history. Millions would start feeling the impact, from federal workers missing paychecks to food programs running dry.
As the government shutdown nears the 1-month mark, Vice President Vance meeting at the White House with aviation workers, essential federal employees who are working without pay.
Do not put working people in the middle of a problem they should not be in there.
Congressional Republicans continue to blame Democrats.
The Democrats are ready to continue this shutdown, I guess forever.
And Democrats warning the government could remain closed into November.
Republicans have spent the entire shutdown with their heads in the sand, the shutdown they caused because they would not negotiate with Democrats.
We don't have anything to negotiate because we didn't put any partisan Republican priorities on the CR at all. I don't have anything I can pull off of it to make it more palatable for them.
Democrats say they won't agree to reopen the government until Republicans extend health care subsidies to prevent Obamacare premiums from skyrocketing.
This is not a fight for Democrats or Republicans. It's a fight for the American people. And we're going to stand on the side of the health care of the American people.
And then there's the issue of critical federal food assistance. SNAP, which is 2 days away from running out for 42 million Americans.
This year, everything's been so overwhelming. Groceries in general are not the same as they used to be. And so it's become to, what do I do now? How do I support and feed my children?
Meanwhile, according to the latest ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll, nearly half of Americans, 45%, say President Trump and congressional Republicans are to blame for the shutdown. That's only slightly lower than earlier this month. Mola Langi, ABC News, Washington.
President Donald Trump is back in the United States following an overseas trip to Asia. The president returned to Washington, D.C. today. Most recently, he participated in a summit with the Chinese president in South Korea. It was his last stop on the week-long trip. After the meeting, the president said the U.S. will cut fentanyl-related tariffs in half of 10% and overall duties on Chinese goods to around 47%. The U.S. and South Korea also finalized a trade deal during the trip to cut tariffs on Korean autos and other goods. And the U.S. government shutdown is dragging on, and many households across the nation are feeling the pinch. That includes greater Houston area, where businesses have delayed operations without government resources available.
They started lining up early, many of them receiving food assistance for the first time in their lives. Dominique Anderson was laid off in this shutdown.
When I first started working with the FDA, I really thought that that was the best career move. Honestly, this has been devastating.
Many federal workers, like this housing and urban development employee, say they are afraid of losing their jobs if they show their faces on camera.
Never thought in a million years I would be in line to get some food.
What does that feel like?
It's humiliating. You know, I've been working for 30 years in my career. I've had to apply for unemployment. I haven't done that.
FAA. Wayne Barber tells us he's been an air traffic controller for 23 years.
Since the shutdown started, I've worked 4 overtimes. I mean, I'm still going to show up to work because that's what I swore an oath to do. So,
even though you're not getting paid?
Yeah. In the military, you swear the same oath, you know, to defend this country.
But this father of 5 says he needs help now.
It doesn't matter, left, right, we just want to get paid for what we do.
According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the SNAP program is ending Saturday.
Take care of your people first.
Juanita Cavasso says she is a disabled veteran.
And that's the saddest thing about it. You know, you go and you give of your life almost. And then to be in these circumstances in the United States, that's just unforgiving.
On Thursday, the Senate passed a vote against President Trump's global tariffs. 4 Republican senators joined Democrats to make it 51-47. The resolution targets tariffs the president put in place using emergency powers. The House is not expected to vote on it, but supporters say it sends a message that the president shouldn't bypass Congress, and tariffs make buildings and buying things in America more expensive. They hope it might change the president's approach.
Well, good evening, everybody. We, of course, had a beautiful day, lots of sunshine, nice, cool, crisp temperatures. Look at that, 73 degrees in the middle of the afternoon. That's pretty nice. Now, the winds were up a little bit, but they're continuing to slowly settle down. That 73 was probably our high temperature, and we're supposed to be around 80, so we're doing really good. Tomorrow, big Freaky Friday for all the Halloween guys. We'll be talking about what to expect for the weekend after this. I don't know, do you have your costume ready? That's, of course, the big question. But the weather is going to be gorgeous for whatever you're planning to do and dressing up tomorrow. High pressure is on top of us. Remember, we had that pretty strong gusty winds behind the front. Well, those hopefully will continue settling down. That's what I expect to happen. And even though we may have red flag warnings up today, I don't think we'll have them up tomorrow, but we need to be very cautious. There's a little front up here. It doesn't look very powerful, but it will be moving down through our area on Saturday night. Slight chance of a cloud or maybe 1 or 2 sprinkles, but generally speaking, it'll continue the very nice weather. Here are the red flag warnings, and of course, the concern is very low humidity. We're going into the winter season. We've had a month and a half of drought, so everything's fairly dry, and with this low humidity, outdoor burning is not recommended. Therefore, we'll continue doing that even though tomorrow being a busy day. Now, just really avoid candles. That's always worries me on Halloween. Just avoid candles. Got plenty of light bulbs and flashlights we can use and not have any kind of flame out there. And it really is just for the crossroads and South Texas, because North Texas is going to be getting that little front coming through. So let's talk about our wind. Here we are on Thursday afternoon. Winds are in the 15-mile-an-hour range. As we go through Thursday night, they'll be offshore, but they'll continue lowering in speed. We're getting down to less than 10 miles an hour, and that'll be very good for tomorrow. So I don't expect a huge problem. However, we all should be very cautious as we go into Friday with the very low humidity situation that we're in. Let's talk about Melissa. Melissa is pardon me, moving away from land, and here's the circuitous track that it took. Went round and round through the Caribbean, and then finally picked up that northerly tour, went through Jamaica, went over Cuba, went over the Bahamas, and it's now getting very close to the Bermuda Island. It's still a hurricane at 105 miles an hour, but certainly not the 175 that we saw just a couple of days ago. But I tell you, it's going to be a long time before Jamaica gets, put it all back together, because there was such widespread damage all over the island. Well, for us, high pressure is over us. That's good. As we go into Friday, it slightly moves over to the east. They'll pick up a little bit less of a wind for us. Then we see the little frontal system comes in late on Friday night. You can see we have 1 or 2 little sprinkles expected as that comes through, but then on Sunday it all goes away as a northerly wind reestablishes itself and continues the very pleasant weather over the area. So no real problems for us, as temperatures will be nice and cool at night, getting down into the 40s, looking at 43 for tonight, and tomorrow we'll get up to a whole beautiful 77. That's couldn't ask for nicer weather. No significant problems anywhere in the crossroads. So we take a look at Port Lavaca. Beautiful day tomorrow for everything you need to do, getting up to a high of about 76. And in Cuero, you're getting up to about 77 as well. So as I said, in the next 7 days, the only issue we have is that little front late on Saturday night. By Sunday, it's gone, and then we got more dry weather, reminding everybody, obviously, be careful driving around in the neighborhoods for the Halloween. And then on Sunday, 2 a.m., fall back. That's the end of daylight saving time. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. If you scan that, you can put Crossroads Today on your phone. We'll toss it back to Maya.
Thank you, Matt Clovia. Struggling to find the best hospital, a clinic just launched a free tool that makes it easier than ever. We'll show you how next. The closing bell ends a down day on Wall Street. The Dow dropping 110 points, the S&P 500 down almost 1%, and the Nasdaq with a 377 points decline. The price of oil dipped 20 cents to $60.28 per barrel. Finding the best hospital for your specific medical needs can be hard and often confusing, but today, the Mayo Clinic has launched a new way to search nationwide for quality medical care, and it's free. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on this new digital tool aimed at helping patients.
Economic factors or geography, not living close to a hospital. He says this website compiles publicly available data on hospitals and based on that information assigns a rating score.
A single number that reflects quality, patient safety, and patient experience into that one score that you then can use to make your decisions. And that one score is for the particular hospital associated with those data.
Farouja says anyone can log on to healthlocator.org and search by region, hospital, or you can search by condition. And he says it'll give you a list of hospitals with their ratings.
We hope this will relieve some of the stress that patients face when they are faced with a diagnosis and they need to find a high quality provider that has a track record of excellence.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A new study found hidden damage in the brain of people with a disease called CTE. Researchers looked at football players and others who had lots of hits to the head. They found damage that looks like it happens in Alzheimer's disease and is similar to hundreds of years of aging. Not everyone who gets hit in the head gets CTE, or right now, there's no test to find, and it's someone who is still alive. The study was published Thursday in the journal Science. And the Consumer Product Safety Commission says the dining chairs were sold at Crate and Barrel stores and online between January 2021 and January of this year. You should stop using the chairs and immediately contact the retailers of the for a replacement. This recall does not apply to models sold after January 23rd of this year. Around 3,100 additional chairs under recall were sold in Canada. And Minnesota twins just hit 100, and they're sharing their secret for a long, active life coming up. A pair of Minnesota's siblings just turned 100 years old. The fraternal twins celebrated their birthday with friends and family this past weekend. Their historic birthday was also marked with a milestone binder, a book of their family history. Now, their advice for a long life: just keep on moving and working and be active and exercise. Now, that's something I need to do.
What, the exercise?
Yes.
I like to say keep moving or you start rusting, you know.
Well, that too.
You got to keep moving. Yeah, that's the thing.
Do you go walking, Matt Clovia?
I do. I walk around the block, you know, just
Yeah,
stay,
I need to do
gotta
better.
stay active.
I got to stay active.
Well, with weather like this, you shouldn't have any problems getting out there and enjoying it. Tomorrow, of course, lots of kids on the roadway because of Halloween, so do drive carefully in the neighborhoods especially and look out for the kids. So otherwise, they've got some beautiful weather in store. Let's all have a happy and safe Halloween, and for all the little goblins, it's going to be great weather. Now, the front that you see on Saturday is late on Saturday night. It's got a slim chance of a few little sprinkle showers as it comes through, but really what it does is reestablish the dry weather for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. So we continue with very nice weather, and again on Saturday night or Sunday morning at 2 a.m., fall back 1 hour, remember? So that we don't be late for church on Sunday.
Yes. And to all our gobblers, make sure you collect a lot of candy. But thank you for being with us. Our next newscast is in 30 minutes after World News with David Muir.